There
Now
you
it
go.
did. Hi. I am so excited. Okay, so for those of you that are tuning in for the very first time, welcome to this channel. Welcome to our world and what we do here. But most of all, welcome to our guest today. We have amazing Jennifer Anderson. I met her because of Scentsy, but we have become friends. You know, we've broadened our friendship beyond Scentsy, and that's one of the things that I love when people are put into your life for a reason. And tons of people come and go, but there are some people that they speak to your soul. And you are one of those people for me. And I don't
Oh,
even think that sometimes we don't even know the magnitude to which people look to us.
mhm.
That's I often say, and I tell my team this all the time. Social media is like a dark auditorium because you don't know who's watching you. You don't know who snuck in a back door and is paying attention to everything that you do. And not only is that why it's important that you respect yourself and carry yourself in a way that is a reflection of you, your family, your business, but also you don't know who's paying attention. And so I pay attention to you. I think you have gosh, you are so amazing, and that's why I wanted you to be here with us. So the goal and intention of this is just to share. I think that you bring such a spirit to life in general that is contagious and that people could benefit from hearing. So I, for once, am not gonna do all the talking, and I'm gonna give you a chance to talk, and I'm gonna
Nice.
totally, yeah, go say. You can say.
Oh, Lord have mercy. I don't even know what to say to all of that. I don't feel I certainly don't feel worthy of that kind of love and admiration and kindness, truly, but I'm grateful, and I am so grateful to know you, and have someone like you in my circle. I think it's really cool that we wouldn't know each other at all. Our paths would never cross were it not for this really cool business, or
Yeah,
one fate weekend away somewhere. So
true.
it's pretty cool how all the little things in our life just come together. But it's those little tiny choices and those little tiny actions are that whole butterfly effect kind of thing, every single. I remember hearing, I think it was Heidi Thompson talk one time, and she just hammered this idea home of everything you do matters. Literally every single thing you do matters. And I was like, I've just seen that play out in my life more and more and more throughout the years. And like even getting to know you, like all the little choices leading up to the fact that we're here together today, it's pretty cool. But everything you do matters.
Everything you do matters. It's so true. So tell us, just to start, tell us, who are you? Why should we care who you are? Who are you? And what's the road in a very Cliff Note version? I don't mean that in a rude way, but in a Cliff Note version, what's the road that led you to where you are today, to finding Scentsy, but to being who you are today?
Um, I who I am today is a lot different than who I was when I joined Scentsy or when I found Scentsy, and that was almost 11 years ago. Um, who I am today is definitely a heavily influenced by Scentsy. And I don't mean by fragrance products. I mean by this beautiful company led by incredibly humble, wise leaders who have given me the opportunity to grow on a personal level. When I found Scentsy, I was a job hopper. Totally. I'm one of those people, like, I went to 4 different colleges and it took me 10 years to get my bachelor's degree. And I don't think I stuck it out longer than maybe 9 months at any job ever. And I always did really, really great, really quickly, but I got bored, or it just wasn't for me, or couldn't capture my attention or keep my heart interested long enough. So I'd find something else. So I found Scentsy, and I never thought it would be my life's work ever. I just thought I was finding things that smell good and, gonna have a little extra money to get my hair done and stuff like that. But what ended up happening is I went on this development journey, and I still am. And I, hopefully I'm on that journey until the day that I die, right? Because there really is never a time where you are done, where you have learned it all, or you've reached a peak. I hope I never reach a peak, basically, is what I'm trying to say. I hope I'm always on an uphill climb. But I allowed myself to go on this personal development journey with Scentsy, and through my business and through the people that I'd met because of my Scentsy business. And I allowed them to challenge everything that I thought I knew about life and business and relationships, about what's important, about finances, about giving generously, or hustling to out hustle someone else. Like, Scentsy really challenged everything that I thought business was or success was. And the people that came into my life because of Scentsy were so influential in challenging those things for me too. But today, my mission in business and in life, I can really kind of narrow it down to two different things. One, I feel like I am here to help people see what's going right in their world, help people focus on the good things, because there is a crap ton of reasons to be mad. There's a crap ton of reasons to be angry, disappointed, heartbroken, frustrated. But you know what? There's just as many beautiful, wonderful reasons to be happy and to celebrate and to find joy and to give generously. So I really believe that's a huge part of my mission, is helping people have that kind of mindset of seeing what's right with their life and what's right with the world. Because I've lived in that kind of mindset where everything is a disappointment, everything is wrong, the weight of the world, bogs down even just your daily activities. I've lived that way. And for so many people, they don't even know that there's another way to live, right? They don't even know that it's possible to have a different mindset or look at the world through a different lens. So for me, that's a huge, huge part of my mission. That's one part of it. The other part of what I love to do so much is I love to help people discover who they really are and be comfortable being that person 100% of the time. Because so many people are uncomfortable in their own skin, or are afraid of being vulnerable or showing who they really are, or talking about weaknesses or strengths. Some people are afraid of what other people think. That's most people in the world, honestly. Most people are so concerned with the thoughts of others that they're stifling their own growth. They're putting a filter on their own flame. They're hiding their light. And so my purpose is to help people rip all those covers off and shine so bright in who they are and be totally confident being that person all the time, because that's what Scentsy has done for me. And because I allowed myself to go on that personal journey through this business and the relationships and the training and the personal development, because I allowed myself to go on that journey, I'm able to now live that way today. And because I used to live that other way, it has become my mission to help other people in that same exact vein.
And so a couple things that you said. First is, isn't it fascinating how Scensy's our job, but how it is very far from a job to us. People very much have their job, and that is they have tunnel vision for their job, and they leave it at work and they come home, and it's very separate from their home life. Whereas with us, what we do every day is integrated with our home life. And I think that because of Scentsy, we have gained such a greater life perspective, because everything in our life is entwined. We don't have all of these separate things. What makes up Jen, what makes up Melissa is commingled. And we've become, in order to be where we are, we've had to become good at commingling all of the things in our lives. You are a mom with a young daughter. You have life outside of Scentsy, and it'd be very difficult for us as leaders to compartmentalize all of the things that need us every single day, right? But I think
Totally.
that speaks to you saying, I have this greater world in front of me where I've worked on myself and I'm able to give to others that need me as well. So my second question then was what keeps you here, but I think that you kind of touched on that. It's you you're still getting personal growth by helping others grow.
Yeah, totally. And I think I think the fact that I'm able to continue that journey myself, like I talked about, like I hope I never peak kind of thing, that keeps my interest, right? That keeps it exciting for me. That keeps it um it's just coming from a place of there's always something to learn. There's always a place to grow. So, I've reached the top of the compensation plan in Scentsy. I can't go any further in that regard. So if I want to stay interested, if I want to stay excited, if I want to stay passionate about my business or what I'm doing here, it's got to be about more than growing to a title, right? Or achieving some sort of reward or whatever the case may be. That I think that keeps me here. I also think that there's enough, I'm not one of those people that likes structure. In fact, when we were booking this call, I said, I can't tell you a time because that gives me anxiety. So let's schedule it like the day before, right? I'm not one of those people that thrives in routine or likes the same thing. I like change, and change lights a fire. It brings me joy. It makes me happy. And there's enough change in Scentsy to keep me interested and excited. There's enough, seasons change, products change, but our world changes. And so the way that we have to present our business to the world is always evolving. So things that I'm doing now in my business are not things that I did 10 years ago, because those things wouldn't work today, right? So there's enough change where I'm having to sort of reinvent myself or reinvent my business or reimagine a way of doing things that also keeps me still interested.
Yeah, I love that. And by not having, I mean, I'm kind of like that. I think I strive to have a routine because it makes me feel more, on top of it. But at the same
Yeah.
time, I feel like too much routine allows me to get comfortable, and I don't want to get complacent, and I don't want to be, you know, I don't want to become robotic in anything that I do. And so, maybe a little bit of my hot mess life mixed with a tiny bit of routine is good and healthy for me. But would you say so? Even though you've said you're kind of not a planner, not that much, but we have to be a little bit. We do.
True. Yeah.
Are you more of a night planner or a morning planner?
Morning, morning,
Okay.
morning. I hate nights.
And is
Like,
that because that's your time? That's your
that's
time.
that's because that's my time. And I've always been a morning person for as long as I could remember. Even as a kid, I would wake up without an alarm clock. As an adult, I would wake up without an alarm clock. Even if I go to bed super, super duper late, I'm still up at the same time, 6:30, 7 o'clock. I like the morning. And if I can get up even earlier than that, the better. I
Yeah.
I am not one of those people. You know how people sometimes are cranky in the morning when they're rolling
Yeah.
out of bed,
Yeah.
need a minute. I'm like that at nighttime.
Yeah.
Once my daughter goes to bed, I'm like, I just need to be by myself alone on the couch, and please don't talk to me because I just need a minute. That's how I am. So mornings are a beautiful fresh start for me. I'm a morning planner.
Okay.
And you're right, we do have to make some plans. We do have to have some sort of stability in a way or systematic way of running our business, because that's the only way that we can teach someone else. There has to be some systematic things that we do. So for someone like me who thrives on change and flying by the seat of your pants, it's finding ways to have those exciting change moments in your business, finding ways to have that seat of, flying by the seat of your pants feeling,
Yeah.
while also remaining structured enough to be able to have someone follow in your footsteps, if that makes sense.
Yeah. very much. Can I rapid fire a couple questions at you?
Okay,
What's your
let's go.
What's your outlet? See, and I'm cooking.
Mhm.
And do you allow your do you make time to do that?
I do now. I've made it a priority, especially over the last couple of months. I cook, I would say four nights a week now. Before I had my daughter, I used to cook 3 meals a day. But look, now I got a 2-year-old tornado, so no. And no. So, sometimes we're door dashing it, you know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
like it's a week I cook now.
Okay. So an outlet is cooking. Tell me, rapid fire me, what are things you love? What are things
Oh
you love?
my, coffee. Like, is this even a question? Queen
Yeah.
J, coffee, no doubt. I love coffee. I love pit bulls.
Okay.
I love Harry Potter through and through. Um, I love like weird movie trilogies, like the Hunger
Okay.
Games.
Love it. Love it.
Uh,
Twilight.
no, I've never seen Twilight. Never.
You know
Never.
what? I'm not a vampire fan, but it's a trilogy. It's a
I'm like not interested in that at all.
all right, go
But I
on.
love it, like all day long. Like, give me some elves, no vampires though.
Yeah. Okay. All right, keep going. What do you
I
love?
love Christmas. I love Christmas so much. My house turns into a winter wonderland on October 1st. You watch it because 30 days is not enough for me to celebrate Christmas. Okay. I need like a full 2 months.
Love
So
it.
I love Christmas so much.
Do you
I love,
document that on your social?
of course.
Okay, good. I just want
Of
to I'm
course.
putting that out there so that people can follow you if Christmas is their love language, which it is for many people. So go on, keep going.
Mhm. You'll see all of the decorations start to come out, and I'll document all of that. And I am the self-proclaimed hashtag Christmas Queen. Okay, that's me all day. Let's see. I love old black and white movies, believe it or not. Like I'm an old soul, you know? I like quiet mornings. I like getting up before anyone in my house and having coffee by myself. Um, I like a time, quiet time with no people.
Yeah.
But I also like traveling so much with people. And I don't really know how to travel without Scentsy friends anymore. I really don't. It's so fun. I like seeing the world, filling my passport up with stamps. Um, let's see. I like doing my makeup sometimes, you
Yeah.
know?
How about singing?
But I like singing.
What about playing the piano? You've done that for 30 years.
Yeah, I have done that for 30 years. I like playing the piano. Yeah, but I definitely don't do that as much or enough. I should do it more. So I'll work on that.
So here's why I asked you that, because I have found women have a really hard time, some women have a really hard time reflecting enough on themselves to know what they even love anymore.
Mm-hmm.
That so often you ask that question and it is, I don't know, I used to like this. I used to do that. I'm boring. I don't know. I'm a mom now. I'm boring. And I think that, again, yet another thing, another positive in the business that we're in, is it isn't about just pushing product. It's
Right.
about finding who you are for the first time or again.
Mm-hmm.
And I love women that have taken that time to reflect and say, here is all the things that I love. My goodness, I love so much. And why am I not spending more time doing the things that make me, because I stand by and live by this motto. We can only be good for our people if we're good for ourselves.
True.
And so I love that you were able to, and I did not, please tell everybody, I did not give you questions ahead of time. So you did not know,
No.
but you perfectly, and I knew that you would be able to tell me. Also, I apologize. I didn't say this sooner, but I'm very sorry about Chloe.
Thank you.
That was your first baby. Well, the baby prior to Riley.
Yeah, she was my first baby, and she was my first child. Chloe was my pit bull of 9 years, and she passed away very suddenly from a brain tumor that there was kind of no coming back from. She got very sick very quickly, and it's pretty devastating, to be honest with you. I've never been through anything like that before, and it's still a little raw. It was just a few weeks ago, but you know, she and I were alone together for 7 years before my daughter, my my human daughter Riley, ever came into the picture. And I've always worked from home since I had Chloe, so it literally was me and her all day, every day, together, all the time. So definitely a huge hole in my heart, you know,
Yep.
has been left there. And I miss her deeply, and I wish that I could have done more for her, you know, truly.
Well, I'm very sorry for your loss and for, but you shared that journey with all of us too. Those of us that follow you on social, and I love that you do a very great job of providing that window into your world. I think it's important that people see that not only are we successful and, but we're human, and we are moms at the end
Mhm.
of the day. We are women at the end of the day. We still do struggle because we're women, you know. But
Yeah.
thank you for giving us that window. What has been your greatest reward thus far?
Personally,
You answer. I'm not defining.
you know what? I would say my personal greatest reward, uh, I honestly feel like, is being able to give a retirement gift to my husband. So in 2019, my husband was able to retire from his career in corporate America, and he now gets to be with our daughter and not miss a freaking moment, and be there for everything and watch her grow up just like I do. And I consider that my greatest accomplishment thus far.
I love it. Greatest compliment that you've been given, and if you want to tell by who that person is or was in your life. Greatest
Oh
compliment,
Lord,
and it could be business, personal, both.
gosh, sirs. You know, I don't know that I could, like, off the top of my head, think about the greatest compliment that I've been given, but I will say, just maybe 2 weeks ago, Janae Sexton, who is a friend of mine and also in Scentsy, she basically just said that I was a light for other people, lighting a path, and that all they had to do was follow the light. Like, and I'm really paraphrasing here, but and Janae did not know this about me, but you know, my one and only goal with business, you know, besides providing for my family, is to literally be a light for other people. Is to literally light the way for other people so they can go and find their own success. And she didn't know that about me, and she didn't know that, like, I've literally used that verbiage before in my head. So when she said that, it just was, oh my gosh, this is so cool, and this whole picture just came together, and I feel very humbled that anyone would view me in that regard.
I love that. Everything that you say, the compliments, the reward, the reflection, the loves, they all it's not all over the place. They all come back to your centered self. Everything with you is very congruent. And I
Cool.
love that. I love that. You it's taken work.
Yeah, and you know, as soon as you said that, I was like, I feel like I need to let people know that that is a result of a serious journey. That is a result of serious intention. And the only way that I can be that way now is because I confidently know who I am. I am so solid in that, and I feel very sure and secure of who I am today and where I am in life and business. And when you are sure and secure and confident, you are able to answer questions at the drop of a hat and tell the truth. right? So that things are congruent. Things are all over the place. You're either a mess or you're not telling the truth. But the only reason I can be that way, that confident person who is able to just sit here and tell the truth, is because I've worked on that specifically. I've been on a growth journey. I put in a lot of intentionality, a lot of heartache. I've learned a lot of lessons from a lot of mistakes over the years and have applied changes in my life because of them to become confident and congruent. Confidence is a learned skill. No one is born confident, and anyone can become confident if you're willing to put in the work and you're willing to do that nitty gritty, tell the truth about who you really are and uncover maybe some of those things that even scare you, and get real about what you really want, what's important to you, why you're here, what you want to accomplish, what's not great about you that needs work. When you're willing to do that, man, that's when things really come together. And that's when you can move forward in incredible power and have influence over people's lives and in other people's lives in a positive way.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a journey.
What would you say to a woman who does not have a supportive spouse in finding her journey and finding her way and seeing if this is part of it? It's tough.
You know, it is so tough. It is so tough because I so believe in marriage and the commitment that you make to another person. And marriage alone is super freaking hard. Okay. Being married to another person means you don't always get to have it your way. Okay. Being married to another person means that sometimes you prefer them over yourself. And that's just hard because nobody likes to do that when we really think about it. Yeah. It's difficult. Marriage in itself is, I firmly believe in the commitment and the beauty of marriage. When you make a commitment to someone else, man, you really got to stick it out. And unfortunately, the world we live in, they just, people quit so easy now, or they just say like, this is hard, or this doesn't serve me anymore. And frankly, I think that's a really toxic way of thinking. And I don't think it's healthy. Don't get me wrong. There are toxic people and toxic relationships that you need to remove from your life.
Yes.
Okay. Often. Sometimes it's a spouse. Sometimes it is. But I just don't want to make a blanket statement, give you an easy pass and just say, hey, kick them out of your life. When you make a commitment to someone to be married, that means you got to work through the hard stuff. Mm-hmm. And when that person who's supposed to support you and love you and help you grow is doing the opposite, it's gut wrenching. It really is. To someone who has an unsupportive spouse, I would say this. The proof is in the pudding. You can make them supportive by doing what you say you're going to do. Yeah. When your words match your actions over time, which I say is how you build trust with someone, your spouse will become supportive. It might be hard. It's not, it might be, it will be hard. It's going to be hard. It's going to be difficult. You're going to have this back and forth battle, like prefer them, prefer my business. I know this is good for me, but this is really upsetting to them. There are going to be times where you have to show your spouse that they're number one to you. Your spouse should be your number one. Yeah. And you got to make sure they do that.
Yes, and I always say two things with regards to this. You also owe it to yourself, and we'll use this business as our example, but if you constantly push the business aside to make everybody else happy, you are also not prioritizing it enough to make it serious in their eyes. That's one. Number two, the more you make it known how your business is impacting you, your mood, your happiness, your fulfillment, that mom is buying pizza Friday night with her Scentsy money, that we are going on vacation and mom was able to, the more you vocalize and verbalize to the people around you that this is part of your life and that you are making strides and sharing it with them. This isn't for you just by yourself. You're sharing it. I think that's a really good way of incorporating, that mindset into your marriage. So I wanted to just touch on that because it comes up a lot.
Yeah. And that's a real thing that people actually deal with. And just like you said, you can't ever show them, okay, oh, my business is really draining, or this is really difficult, or I really hate this. Don't show up to them and tell them that. Show them what's good about your business, right?
Well,
tell
and
them how it's enhancing your life. Show them how it can enhance their life, like you said, by paying for pizza or taking them on vacation. That's what I mean by the proof is in the pudding, right? Make some money and pay the mortgage then, right?
Yeah.
Do it anyway. Up late.
And we can't
do what you have to do.
Yeah, we can't assume that people are always only joining this industry for money. There is a lot of reasons that people join for that purpose, fulfillment, that social outlet, that sense of community. I mean, there is more than, just the financial aspect. All right, 2 more things. And then I'll give you the opportunity to say anything that you want. It is, burnout is a real thing. Burnout is a real thing in life. We get burnout with a ton of things.
Yep.
How do you motivate yourself or pull yourself out of those funks? What's your juice? What pulls you? And that actually, that question came from leaders that want to know, like, what do you, Jen, do? Because it happens to all of us.
Got it. Yeah, it does. And there have been, fully transparent, because that's how I am and I always am. There have been many times in my business where I was in burnout. Many times in my business where I thought about quitting. Even after I started making really good money, I thought about quitting. And anyone else would be like, why are you giving up that money? Like, literally, I was like, I can't do this anymore. I'm out. I'm done. So I'm going to tell you, it's probably not going to be money, because I'm making, really a lot more money than I ever should have made, and or could be making anywhere else. And I thought about quitting. So it's not going to be.
You there? Got you. Hold on, you're muted. There we go.
I'm here.
Okay.
Sorry.
That's okay. It's not going to be money.
It's not ever going to be money. I will say, for what pulls me out of burnout, while it's not money, it is my family's future, I think, is what pulls me out of burnout, and leaving a legacy for my family. So money is an important part of that, right? Providing for my daughter, being able to send her to whatever school she wants to go to, like not having to make choices based on finances because I can't afford something. That those things really do pull me out. But I think more than anything, it's not having to go work for someone else. I really don't want to do that ever again. I don't like to be told what to do. I don't like to, have to clock into something. So at the end of the day, something like that is going to pull me out of burnout. But let me say this, because I think this is really important. I actually think, rather than talking about how do we pull ourselves out of burnout, it's how do we avoid burnout in general. It's how do we not allow ourselves to get there? And the way you do that is by setting healthy boundaries in your business, setting up simple systems that work for you, not against you, and that don't drain you, focusing on things like IPAs, income producing activities that actually make you money, that aren't fluffy, but then doing things in your business that bring you joy. I am all about IPAs. I'm all about income producing activities. I'm all about, if it doesn't make you money, don't do it. But with a caveat of you also got to do things that make you happy. So if it's like making a crafty card for somebody that makes you happy, that doesn't make you money, but it makes you happy and brings you joy, you do that and you don't put a timestamp on it. Okay. If it's like organizing your labels by like in an alphabetical, organizing your wax bars in an alphabetical way, and that brings you so much joy and makes you happy, rock on, sister. Okay. You have to do things in your business that bring you joy, that make you happy, that fill your cup, that make you want to be there. And eventually you want to get to the point where it's not talking about how do I fix this problem of burnout? It's rather how do we set ourselves up to not even get to that point?
Yeah. I love that. That is shifting perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Shifting perspective. The mind is so powerful. When you were and backtracking a second, when we were talking about supportive spouses, and you said if you're constantly telling your family how much you hate your business and how it's draining and what, that's also the attitude that you're approaching your business with. Like, you are telling yourself you hate this, you're telling your family you hate this, you cannot expect that they are going to love it more than you if that's your talk. So I love that. I love that you changed the perspective. It's not how do we get out of it, it's let's not get there. That's great. What advice would you give to somebody starting this business?
Do things that scare you. Do the things that you look at and they make your stomach sink a little bit, right? Or the idea of like maybe for you it's going live on social media. Maybe for you it's booking a table at a craft fair and like seeing people live and in person. Maybe it's having a recruiting conversation or asking that host if they want to get the host exclusive starter kit. Like maybe it's something like that. Do the things that scare you, the things that make your stomach sink, that make your voice box quiver a little bit, the things that you kind of have to work yourself up to and you sweat about. Those are the things that change your business. Those are the things that move you forward, that propel you into that next level. And every time you do something scary, you build your confidence a little bit more to do another scary thing and another scary thing and another scary thing. And maybe it's scary for you forever in the rest of your life, but maybe it becomes less scary at some point, and maybe you become confident in it, and maybe the very best case scenario happens. So do the things that make your voice shake.
That's where the magic happens.
Yeah.
Outside of the comfort zone.
Totally.
Where the magic happens. Oh, I love that. Okay, tell us anything you want to tell us, and this is taking you out.
Yeah. I'll say this. Hopefully, in answers you heard me give today, you heard me talk about the way I view the world, or the way I look at a situation or look at a problem. Your mindset matters. Your mindset is your most powerful tool. It's not a sales skill like upselling or closing a recruit or booking a party in this really cool way that doesn't make them feel like they booked a party, right? That's not your best asset. Your best asset and your most powerful tool is going to be the way that you view any problem you encounter, the way you view the world, the way you view how this business can genuinely help other people. It's your mindset. And I always say this: every battle you ever face is won or lost in your mind. And I fully believe that. Everything you ever encounter, whether it's difficult or seemingly easy, you're going to win or lose that battle because of how you're looking at it. If you are in the battle saying like, there's no way I'm ever going to do this, well, you've already lost it. I'll never reach superstar director. I will never get annual sales award. 25,000 points for a trip. I'll never do that. There's no way. I can't even sell 500. Well, of course, because that's what you're telling yourself. Your brain is dumb. It believes whatever you tell it. Every battle you ever face is won or lost in your mind. So start telling yourself how you're going to be victor. Start telling yourself how you're going to come out victor. victorious. Start telling yourself how you're going to win this battle that you're facing. And you watch, you'll start to win the battles.
I love that so much. It's that line. Whether you think you can or can't, you're right.
Henry Ford, my man.
I love it. You're phenomenal and beautiful and dynamic and contagious. And I'm so blessed and thankful for having you in my circle.
Oh, well, I feel super honored that you would even ask somebody like me to do this. So I really appreciate it. And I'm glad we're friends.
Me too. Okay. Have a fantastic day.
Mwah.
Okay. See you soon.